Schiff, because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding.
With razor-sharp timing and that trademark smirk, Greg Gutfeld unleashed a blistering on-air critique of Adam Schiff that felt less like commentary and more like a comedic demolition. He zeroed in on Schiff's tendency to cast himself as the leading man in every political drama, calling out what he framed as over-the-top theatrics and bold claims he argued weren't backed by solid evidence. The segment played out as a no-holds-barred satire, packed with punchlines and pointed jabs, suggesting that the era of unchecked narratives might be running into a wall of public scrutiny. It was sharp, unapologetic, and delivered with the kind of biting humor Gutfeld is known for. No soft edges, no restraint.
When Schiff finally gets censored, so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eyes. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. Due for due. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch.
If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss an update. When it came to Adam Schiff, Greg Gutfeld didn't rely on flashy production, dramatic soundtracks, or a spotlight. He let his delivery do the work, suggesting that Schiff's own public remarks supplied the punchlines. Painting Schiff as someone who viewed himself as the tragic lead in a sweeping political drama, Gutfeld instead cast him as a recurring character in a long-running political sitcom, with Greg metaphorically in the back row, grinning, cracking jokes, and treating the whole spectacle like must-see. Primetime TV.
And the irony is superb. He went crying to mommy on an app run by Chinese commies. Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U rentals headed for Texas. He on a highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence? I think not.
Gutfeld joked that the best part about mocking Adam Schiff was that Schiff never seemed to notice. He compared him to a clunky AI program trained on nothing but cable news scripts and Cold War spy novels, wandering through Washington with dramatic intensity. According to the bit, Schiff delivered his remarks like someone who had rehearsed them endlessly in front of a mirror, yet they still landed with all the impact of a damp rag. Gutfeld portrayed him as perpetually serious, as if laughter had been off the table for decades, and framed him as an endless source of material, constantly shedding credibility, practicality, and occasionally more information than intended.
On impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my twin will say he should go away to prison for a...
Gutfeld kicked things off by zeroing in on Schiff's wide, ever-alert eyes, always looking as if they were permanently set to breaking news. He joked that even in closed-door briefings, Schiff's default expression hovered somewhere between mild alarm and the sudden fear of forgetting the oven. Whenever Schiff stepped up to a microphone, Gutfeld quipped, it felt like a small, frantic creature attempting a State of the Union address. Intense urgency, but no one quite sure what the emergency was.
How are you?
Shame on you. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'm a Gutfeld.
So, Congressman, I got to ask, how did it feel to have your ass chewed out like that in front of your colleagues?
Oh, well, I will.
Then there was the voice. Steady, slow, almost hypnotic, turning even routine remarks into something that sounded apocalyptic. Gutfeld teased that Schiff had a talent for inflating minor issues into looming national crises, delivering speeches that felt more like lullabies than rallying calls. You could be scrolling your phone waiting for the dramatic climax, even if he were talking about an asteroid headed for Earth.
Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain.
Hello, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff. Some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job.
In Gutfeld's portrayal, Schiff didn't just believe he was right. He carried himself as if he were the lone guardian of integrity in a city of wrongdoers. Despite a track record of bold predictions that didn't always materialize, he would follow each one with another grave warning and a solemn expression, projecting the aura of a determined truth-teller navigating what he described as a sea of corruption.
Schiff now admits he should have been much more clear about we unleashed the impeachment circus. Note, a politician says they should be much more clear. They mean, I wish you hadn't caught me lying to your face.
I should have been much more clear, and I said so the minute it was brought to my attention that I was referring to the fact that when the whistleblower filed the complaint, we had not heard from the whistleblower. We wanted to bring a whistleblower in at that time, but I should have been much more clear about that.
You know, instead of trying to be clear, it might just save time.
Gutfeld also zeroed in on what he saw as Schiff's unmistakable smugness. He joked that Schiff didn't so much speak with people as address them like a substitute teacher convinced his stern civics lecture was life-changing. In Gutfeld's telling, Schiff carried the warmth of a tax audit and the charm of a self-check kiosk, serious to a fault and seemingly allergic to humor. He mockingly labeled it the Schiff echo chamber, a space where dramatic tone outweighed hard facts.
Violins, people. But can he promise you this?
But I can promise you this. This is not the end of my fight for our democracy. This is just the beginning. Please join us and contribute today. Thank you.
Here's my question. How much will it cost for you not to run?
To Gutfeld, Schiff wasn't just a legislator in a suit, he was a performance, wrapped in relentless gravity. He ribbed Schiff's relationship with the truth, dubbing him the master of the virtually confirmed, the almost fact, and the claim that was always just about to be validated. Rather than accusing him of outright falsehoods, Gutfeld framed it as embellishment elevated to an art form.
Transparency, all the while saying the whistleblower might not testify, because it's a safety concern, he maintains, because we all know CIA agents can't protect themselves against non-existent threats, or that our government can protect him from your Aunt Sally.
Our primary interest right now is making sure that that person is protected. Indeed, now there's more than one whistleblower, but they are protected. And given that we already have the call record, we don't whistleblower who wasn't on the call to tell us what took place during the call. We have the best evidence.
Even Schiff's book didn't escape the satire. Gutfeld described it as a self-congratulatory narrative, fan fiction with footnotes, where the villains were clearly marked and the hero never stumbled. He poked fun at Schiff's ultra-serious style down to the suits, joking they looked chosen for maximum solemnity. According to Gutfeld's portrayal, despite years of disputed predictions and political misfires, Schiff only leaned harder into dramatic warnings, penning op-eds, delivering speeches about safeguarding institutions, and insisting he had never misled or chased the wrong lead.
I guess he makes it work, Tyrus. But
Does he?
I don't. But isn't it? I mean, I don't want to get mad at this because he's such a joke. But the fact that he isn't going to be really get any punishment.
Shame, shame on you. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Greg jokingly called it the Schiff cycle: repeat the warning, amplify the urgency, and move on to the next accusation without missing a beat.
Romney could help him. Everyone knew there weren't enough votes to convict. Even the media, their only way out of this hell, pretending that it was a hero. Poor Adam. He really thought he had him. Well, we've talked on the impeachment trial. Now let's talk about who didn't. As I said before, don't think the Dems aren't going to stop trying to find dirt on Trump. They'll look anywhere. Hell, they'll go to a local high school if they thought they'd...
Gutfeld painted Schiff as an outrage-powered engine that thrived on headlines rather than hard reality. In his telling, accuracy was optional. What mattered was drama, volume, and a looming sense of apocalypse. He joked that Schiff seemed to see himself as the Republic's conscience, Congress's moral compass, and the last line of defense against tyranny, while Greg stood off to the side with a grin and a microphone, watching it unfold like a live-action farce that practically begged for a laugh track.
The conditionality of either the military aid meeting with the Ukrainian president, it may not be necessary to take steps that might reveal the whistleblower's identity to do that.
Not necessary so much for transparency, but like everything, the Dems haven't thought this through.
To Gutfeld, the storyline kept renewing itself with every new headline. Cue the dramatic pause, the leaked memo, the urgent warning. The roast, he suggested, was ongoing, and the sequel was already in production. Then he shifted gears and took aim at what he framed as Schiff's latest move, adopting the role of the unfairly targeted truth-teller. Greg chuckled at the irony, arguing that someone who had spent years confidently pushing narratives on national television now seemed startled by public criticism. He described this new phase as the victim costume, complete with ready-made talking points and pearl-clutching indignation. But in Gutfeld's version of events, the cycle was predictable. Schiff would reappear with another grave warning, another dramatic flourish, and Greg, as always, would be there too, sharp-tongued, sardonic, and a couple of punchlines ahead.